So, when I call myself a tech enthusiast, it is hard to believe that I have not upgraded my smartphone for last 3 years. Now, being a digithead, it also means that I am very particular about the device I am going to purchase. And last couple of years, the smartphone industry is kind of going under a transition period, especially in terms of display and design. So I kind of could not make up my mind. Even now, it is the same, but I could not resist myself from buying this phone. I think it's here. The thing is, I have waited long enough to buy a new smartphone, mainly because I did not want to compromise with the specifications, but ultimately I bought a device by making the most compromises, at least on paper. I have my reasons, but first, unboxing.
I ran up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, had me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me, gon' back it up. Matter what? Told ya I'ma do me, why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll like a Mack truck, country heart, I might cop a farm and go act up. Lot of scars, I was cold hearted, now I'm backed up. Keep it real, I do this once a month, I don't rap much.
This is Pixel 4a. Now, when I made up my mind to purchase this device, I had two things in mind. One, the Pixel software experience, and two, the Pixel camera. But along with those two things, I had plenty of doubts or questions to be specific. The first question was, in this modern era of glass sandwich and metal rims, how would it feel to use a plastic phone? Question 2, how would be the display? Especially when the equivalent or cheaper phones has higher refresh rate or larger screens. Third would be the battery life. On paper it has a 3140 mAh battery, but the question is whether it will last throughout the day. And the fourth and the most important thing, because it has a mid-range processor, how would be the performance? Now that I have used this device for a couple of days, so let's answer those questions. So how does it feel to use a plastic phone in 2020? The thing is, when you rent the cheapest room in a 5-star hotel, it still feels premium, and it's the same thing here. Although it's plastic, but the soft touch makes it feel different. It's definitely not as premium as a Galaxy, but it kind of reminds me of Lumia 720. The accent color on the power button and the tiny square camera hump makes a design language which feels unique. And if you are kind of minimalist, then this design is right in your alley. Also, plastic makes it lightweight, and when you add the compact size of the device, it is an easy phone to handle. The overall footprint of the phone is approximately 6.2 inches, among which 5.81 inches covered by the display. Which brings me to the second question. How is the display? And the short answer will be delightful. It is not the big, bright, super high resolution, high refresh rate, blow your mind away screen, but it is OLED. So it is colorful, punchy with pitch deep blacks. So when you throw the right content at it, it does feel gorgeous. The narrow bezel also makes it quite immersive. Watching Netflix or Prime Video is a treat on the screen. It is also bright enough for sunlight visibility. And the thing with OLED is it saves battery when you use dark mode or a dark wallpaper. Which brings me to my third question. How is the battery life? And it is average. Unlike popular opinion where people are getting 7 to 8 hours in a day, I am getting around 5 to 6 hours of screen on time. But my experience was not like running random videos on loop. It was more a personal experience. It includes taking calls, which by the way is great on this device. The call quality was crisp and clear. Texting on WhatsApp, taking images wherever and whenever I get an opportunity, grazing upon the desk setups on Instagram, and mostly watching videos on YouTube and popular streaming services. But the screen on time is completely subjective and probably needs more testing. The point is, it is definitely not a 2-day battery life. However, it is good enough for a regular day, and it is definitely not a deal breaker. Now let's talk performance. It is good, and by performance I don't mean scrolling through the UI and opening couple of apps. No, I don't mean that. Even a 6,000 rupees phone can do that easily. So I use Lightroom on my phone. So it is important how quickly it loads the photo on the Lightroom app, and also all the edits I do updates real time. Can it do that? Yes, it can. I use multiple apps simultaneously. So can this device keep them on RAM? Yes, it can. How quickly it loads Netflix or Amazon Prime? Almost instantly. How fast it opens Google Pay or any other payment service? Instantly. Even the games load surprisingly fast. Yes, there are random stutterings, but that's probably I have noticed twice or thrice. To conclude, the performance is more than good enough. Now the question is, why did I buy Pixel 4a? So let's talk about that. Out of the box, Pixel 4a comes with Android 11 and zero bloatware. In fact, even the minimal essential apps that it came installed, you can uninstall them, even Google apps. You are the one who is in full control. Now, that's one part. The other part is how smooth this UI feels, and with Android 11, the whole experience feels cohesive. And the second reason to buy this phone was definitely the camera. The single 12 megapixel shooter takes some stunning photos, both indoors and outdoors, both in daytime and during night. The dynamic range is magnificent. The colors look natural, and these are the things you probably heard 40,000 times. So let me shut up and let you enjoy the photos that I have clicked with this phone. I think you get the point. This smartphone takes stunning images with one single 12 megapixel lens, not some 108 megapixel 4-axis stabilized 30x zoom lens. And that is the single most distinctive feature of a Pixel is. This phone is important not because of what chip it is bundled with. Rather, it is important because it is bundled with the software supremacy of Google, and that bridges the hardware gap. The thing is, you can't justify the purchase of this device by breaking it down to each rupee, especially in India. Like, it has a good display, but there are 10 other phones which has a better or equivalent display in this price range. This has a decent performance, but there are devices which will perform much faster than this one. It has a good battery life too, but it is not even close to the phones which has 7000 mAh batteries. The point is, it covers the bases rather well. There is no deal breaking compromises, and that is a relief, because if you are looking for the ratio with price to spec, this device will not be compelling for you because it will always lose in the spec game. So should you buy Pixel 4a? The answer is simple. You have to ask yourself two questions, which I did to myself. One, do you want the clean Pixel software experience? And two, do you want the Pixel camera? If the answers are yes, then you should go ahead and buy this phone. However, if those two things are not your priority, then you should look elsewhere. Anyway, that's all for this video. There are more Pixel 4a related videos coming. So if you are interested in that, you know what you need to do. And also, do let me know if you have any questions and query or your views about this phone in the comment section. Anyway, that's all for this video. Until next time, this is Parth signing off from InfoPal, and I'll see you in the next video.